Good afternoon, Keith Tebow with you today. I want to actually spend some time today to talk about a special program that we're going to be airing on FRCmedia for about the next month or so. It's actually going to start next week. And the genesis of it is it's an original music and dance program featuring some very, very talented individuals, but actually as couples. The name of the program is called Duos, Piano, Flamenco, and Tango. And I'm going to be bringing on now the producers of the program. I'm pleased to be joined by Kirk, Whipple, and Marilyn Morales. Kirk and Marilyn, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
Thank you for having us.
Just great. Thanks, Keith. Glad to be here in front of Fall River viewers.
Yeah, there's a lot to this program that I want to get into, but Kirk and Marilyn, why don't you just talk about how you came up with the concept of this program, mixing your musical talents with the dances of flamenco and tango?
Well, as not just a married couple, but we're musical partners, and we've been playing music for one piano, four hands, and two pianos for far longer than we want to tell you today.
Yes, an FBI secret.
But one thing that's been a continual joy for us is to collaborate with people of other disciplines. And we've worked with poets, with painters,
visual artists,
all kinds of different genres. And a natural thing, of course, with music is dance. And in this case, duos, piano, flamenco, tango. We both have a love of Latin music. And Marilyn, of course, is 100% Latina. And the music in the program that we've written on and off over the years is a nice healthy mix of flamenco, tango, salsa, classical Spanish, and classical music, absolutely. So this was, I want to say, about maybe 15 years ago we started thinking about this particular program, and we've performed it with several duos. The personnel has changed for this program over the years, but we have a wonderful lineup this season for this particular broadcast.
Yeah, and also it's like in the music, you can almost feel, even before we had the dancers, you could hear the taconeo, taka, 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 I mean, just called for it. It was crying for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on here. And, Kirk, you reached out to me earlier this year about, airing the program through work with the Fall River Cultural Council. You were saying, hey, Keith, we're interested in sharing this program with Fall River Community Media, the viewers and audience of Fall River, and we're looking to get a local cultural council grant. Would you be interested in helping? I said, sure, we'd love to see this type of programming. And you got the grant in Fall River. So that's great that we're able to share this. But, I want to get into a little bit more about the program itself in a moment. But part of our production that you'll be seeing next week, and by the way, it debuts on Tuesday, May 11th at 7 p.m. on Channel 95, and it'll run in that time slot over the next 4 weeks. But another component to this, Kirk, is the fact that you want to also provide the community with sort of a background of the genres, if you will. And you've got a pre-recorded lecture with the two of you as well as others to sort of talk about how this works. So how's that lecture going to come across?
Well, the online lecture it's a half an hour, and we'll walk through the program and we'll be talking about each of the musical pieces. We'll also be talking about a little bit about the dancers. Part of the fun with the online thing is that we get an opportunity to share some backstage stories, if you will, that you wouldn't get to know if you weren't at the pre-concert lecture. So by all means, watch the 1 hour show. But if you want to hear a little gossip, a couple of fun things that happen backstage, this isn't going to be just a dry, brainy lecture at all.
No.
We'll tell everybody about everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, you are sharing this program with us here in Fall River, but this is also part of a concerted effort that you're working with a number of local cultural councils, including the one here in Fall River. Kirk, you came to me a while back and said, Keith, would you be interested in sharing this program? Could you write a letter on our behalf to the Fall River Cultural Council to get some funding to, provide work for not only the concert but also the lecture that is also going to be part of this. So how did you get involved with working with cultural councils to spread this word of this program throughout other communities?
Well, there's a local cultural council in our home base of Wareham, and we've applied, and they've helped us over the years to grow Cranberry Coast Concerts one season at a time. And we also started applying to some neighboring communities, and we've been able to expand our reach by doing some satellite concerts, some live concerts in other regions. Well, last year we received a few grants that, because of COVID, allowed us to convert into virtual programs. And then it was when they extended the date, it was like in November, we started thinking, wait a minute, we could expand this to do several other communities around the state. So then we got real busy and applied to every one of the cultural councils we could, and
including on my birthday.
Yes, it was, the deadline was on her birthday.
But it's like, I'm happy to say it's a really beautiful present that we're able to do this in Fall River. Yeah,
and several other communities around the state. So in a way, we've kind of made lemonade out of lemons. It was a way for us to get to communities that we haven't really been able to previously. And the interesting thing is, Fall River is really just sort of down the street from Wareham. You got to just drive about 20-30 minutes, depending upon where you are.
Nice drive.
It is. And but hey, we're happy that we're going to be virtually in Fall River before we touch down there.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about the concert being, sort of a great mix of different genres of music. And, a city like Fall River is extremely diverse. How do you feel that this concert will play in a city like Fall River? There may be a number of people who may, I guess, sort of look back to their roots and where they're coming from to recognize and appreciate what you're trying to do here, right?
Well, I tell you, speaking of diversity, I'm the only gringo in the room when we get on stage. We've got 3 men, 3 women in the company. I love to say this, our sextet. And actually, the flamenco dancer is from Colombia. The tango dancer from Argentina, the men, and the women, the
Murcia, Spain,
for our flamenco dancer,
Pardo, and also Mariela Barufaldi from Argentina.
Yeah, so
and me from Cuba.
And exactly.
There you go.
So I don't think that this community, this company of ours, could be more diverse if we tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you finally, give us a little bit of background about Cranberry Coast Concerts and what else you do there.
Oh my gosh, we'd be delighted.
Oh gosh, we actually we started that in 2006. And what happened is, I went to school in Boston University, and after I graduated, I love Massachusetts, but the weather really didn't agree with me. I freeze easy. I mean, 60, 70 degrees, I'm like, I need to get a coat. So anyways, but and then we met in a piano competition, and then we got married.
Well, I thought you were gonna tell. I get to beat her to the punch. She beat me in the competition, but I won the prize here.
And then I ended up moving to California, and then to Miami, then we started doing the thing in Massachusetts. And I mean, it's like we do everything from Bach to rock. That's our motto.
And so it started off with just the 2 of us as a handful of 1 piano, and then later 2 piano concerts evolved into, we do something many years called Spectacular Night, where we do sort of like a theatrical and musical review.
We do an outstanding young artist, where we audition the students, we give them pointers, and then they get to we present them in a concert, and in several concerts.
And one thing that I also want to point out too, that we're trying desperately to put together this summer, at the end of the summer, we're keeping one eye on the calendar, one eye on people getting together. But I wore my Always Remember. Let's see if I can get it in front of the camera.
There you go.
Always Remember is a musical and I think the quintessential iconic Cuban American musical written by Marilyn Morales. And if all goes well, we're going to have the leads from this show appearing with us basically the last week of August, over the big weekend. And people can check that out. Always remember musical.com. There are some examples of it. And Cranberry Coast Concerts, we're on Facebook. You just have to look up facebook.com/CCC Festival. We're also putting some work up as we speak. Our website doesn't look like much right now, but over the coming weeks, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff coming up on cranberrycoastconcerts.com.
But we've done everything. I mean, it's like even a murder mystery, and we did in the Soda Club in New Bedford. And we also we did we had so much fun. We had a friend of ours who teaches actually how to dance. We played the music and we had everyone dancing and the audience. So
and we barbecue frequently after the rehearsals. So
he makes a
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Kirk and Marilyn, for joining me again. The program is called Duos, Piano, Flamenco, Tango. It will premiere on FRC Media, Channel 95, Tuesday, May 11th at 7 p.m. So thank you for joining me. All the best. I'm glad we could collaborate on this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Keith.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for joining us here on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great day.